I had a wonderful time at the School of Geography. It was a few years of being really stimulated and surprised and supported. And I think I was always really impressed with just the breadth of things that we were exposed to and the quality of the teaching. So yes, very positive memories. A lot of my time outside of studying was spent with a whole bunch of different people from across the university, actually, and we sort of convened around development and environment issues. So between us, we organised, I think it was the first alternative careers fair that Oxford had ever had, sort of give an alternative to sort of mainstream, sort of more milk round approaches to careers. And we organised One World Week, which was a way of kind of across the university just raising awareness about development and environment issues. Yes, and I'm still in touch with them, and they're still doing amazing stuff across lots of different interesting jobs. So it was a great bunch of people to meet. I think in terms of my degree, I would absolutely come back to the influence and the support of Patricia Daly at the School of Geography. She was an incredible college tutor, incredibly supportive, and so incredibly supportive when things were going well. I remember some of her top tips were things like, well, there's a reason that men score better sometimes in finals, and that's sometimes because they take more risks in terms of how they answer questions. So go for it, don't go for the safe option, think on your feet and take some risks. So that kind of support and encouragement is incredible, particularly as a woman studying at Oxford. And then she was actually incredibly supportive beyond that. So in fact, I had to defer finals for various reasons. And so, yes, I really sort of respect and are very thankful for the support that she gave me. I'm very loyal to geography, and I always make sure that people know that I've studied geography, and I think it has massively helped in throughout my career. And I think a few different ways. I think it's given me a real sort of respect and understanding for different forms of knowledge. So understanding that there are different ways in which knowledge can be produced, whether all the way from kind of big data through to ethnography, and they all have a role to play. And it's actually being able to combine different forms of knowledge that actually can often bring you sort of new insights. So I think that's one point. I think the second way in which I think it's helped is it really emphasises the importance of different perspectives. So on any one given issue, there are actually a whole set of different perspectives that can be sort of brought to bear. And I work on health at the moment, and so the perspective of a clinician is very different to that of a charity. It's very different to that of a citizen who might be feeling very overwhelmed and sort of confused by their own sort of health. So being able to kind of connect and triangulate between those different perspectives is, I think, a strength that geography gives you. And I think I would even go further. I think one of the things that I think I bring from geography is almost a sort of a critical social science perspective, actually, on the work that I do. So always asking sort of on what basis is the question being asked, who's asking it, in what context, what are the assumptions underpinning it, who's in control, who has the power. And so that perspective, I think, I've brought throughout my career, and it's something that I very much kind of link to the kind of the training and the support that I got in geography. I think very much my career was on the kind of evolution side of things. So I think I've always just, the next step has always been something that's really interested in and inspired me, and it's been a very sort of natural progression. It hasn't been linear, so it's actually, I've pivoted at various points. So earlier I was more orientated towards international development, and then after an MPA, a Masters of Public Administration at Harvard, I actually ended up coming back and doing more on domestic policy. So it's evolved as I've gone along. I think what's sort of been constant and consistent is a sense that I've wanted to always try and make a contribution in terms of public and social value, in terms of making things, improving things from that kind of perspective. And so I've worked in the social sector, in the kind of voluntary sector, and in government, but throughout all of that, that's been sort of what's sort of driven me and what's motivated me. It's difficult always to give advice, but I did sort of, I think I would say, well, first of all, just go for it. It's an enormously valuable training that you get from the School of Geography. So it's a very strong base that you already have. I think one thing I'd say was, try, if you can, to align what's really important to you, so the really big stuff that you care about, that you sort of hold dearly. Try and align those big long-term goals with some of your immediate actions and choices. And really, that's all we can. So that's how I've approached things, really. That those everyday decisions, try and get them to align as much as you can with the big stuff that you care about. It doesn't always work out, but try where you can. I think I'd also say sort of have a go, because I think one of the feelings that I remember very clearly when I was sort of graduating from here was a sense that my next step was going to be kind of life determining, that somehow everything kind of rested on this next decision that I would make beyond being here at Oxford. And I think obviously there is a certain amount of path dependency, and obviously you do have to think things through. But on the other hand, I think we can put too much weight on that. I think actually there's more flexibility, there's more ability to shift between things than you might think. So just have a go, and the best way of knowing what you want to do is by trying it out. So just have a go.